My design rationale video for MDM 650 week 4. In my research, Sean Adams, professor of branding and brand identity at the Art Center College of Design, explains in his LinkedIn learning video, Introduction to Branding, that branding is a process that successfully communicates the company's unique message and therefore needs to be a cohesive story throughout the entire design process. He also states in his book, Masters of Design, written by Sean Adams in 2008, he talks about designer Michael Johnson from London and his work with the client Pleasure Beach. And Pleasure Beach's identity system uses expressive typography, exciting imagery, rich color, all to convey fresh, updated activities and attractions to appeal to younger clientele. And doing this to the logo gives more latitude for the designer, and it can exist in a variety of colors. He talks a little bit about the idea of the logo changing and morphing as time progresses, and this allows the designer to create unexpected solutions to the design problems without losing the message of the brand. In both instances, Sean Adams has shown me how to create unique and exciting brand identities and use the power of storytelling to push the brand forward and hold that brand message throughout. When discussing solving problems, I find that exploring a multitude of paths can help, and even if many of them fail, sometimes that failure helps to show that I'm on the correct path. You can see that here in some of the week 3 work, and this was discussed in some of our feedback. So here I kind of branched off and started. I felt like I needed to try and explore some other paths. I had already created quite a few things with this style and these logos, and then I brought in something way different. And it was interesting watching the feedback on the video because it was when Professor Kratz saw this, she kind of stopped in her tracks and definitely felt like it was a move in the wrong direction, which is fine. It wasn't something that I was turning in as a final grade. I was getting feedback on kind of the process and seeing if maybe there's another path that I need to be going along. And so this is kind of a good way that I find solutions to problems is by trying a lot of things. And when I get the feedback from peers, whether that's family members or other collaboration with other designers, I think that's vital. And that feedback helps me along my way to make sure that I'm staying on the right path throughout. And I feel like that happens regularly, and that's part of that critique and feedback process. And finally, some of the things that I felt like I gained a lot of competency in this month, I learned a lot about time management and the design production world's pace. I felt like it was super important to get things started early. As you can see, like there are lots of iterations of things throughout this process here. And obviously on this side, you're seeing final products, but on this side, you're seeing like a whole collection of things that was attempted and either failed or worked or ended up with multitude of different styles and types of things that could work. And I feel like that doesn't happen unless you are planning ahead enough and getting ideas out onto paper and onto the screen so that you have time to then rework. One of the things I like to talk about is the importance of letting my brain kind of stew on the problem and some possible solutions. When I get to a point where I'm kind of stuck, then I can get some time to rework things. Here it is. So here we went from this where I was trying to do something a little bit unique, where maybe the triangles like came apart somehow, and I had enough time to rework and rethink how this would work. Sometimes it's great to create a design, but this is not usable. This isn't feasible to actually like produce. And also like, what would it look like at an actual, in an actual concert venue? How would that even be a thing that could be, this would be upside down? Like it was this whole thing. And so then I had enough time to then take something wild like that and remake it and recreate it into something that was more standard, the ability for this to be produced and used by concert goers made a lot more sense. And so I think that process has to have enough time to be able to be to actually work and actually become something that's usable. So so I think that's where I'm at, and I really enjoyed this month and the production design process of these things, and I'm looking forward to doing some more like this. Thank you, and have a nice rest of your evening.